Hi Yins, how are you doing today? It's Monday. Yes, I know. I'm here for my video update on a Monday this week. It's Monday, September 24th, 2018. I didn't have a video last week and I'm unavailable this week for a video, so I am here on Monday and we're gonna do like 2 weeks in one time. So, happy Monday. Happy FlossTube update. I hope you're all doing well. I certainly am. I am having a wonderful stitching week. Yeah. And that's one reason why I didn't have a video last week. I didn't feel like filming. That's partially why. Last week was one of those crazy weeks weather-wise. We had the remnants of Hurricane Florence come through on Monday, I believe, and I was laid up in bed with migraines all night because whenever the barometric pressure changes a lot, they do seem to affect me. So Monday I didn't do any stitching at all. And then Tuesday I did get back into the routine again. And then Wednesday I was still feeling the effects, so I just didn't feel like filming. Also, I've been really into just stitching a lot lately. And I didn't have a whole lot to show you. So I figured I would just not film last week, and I'm back this week. So I am here for my weekly update and some stuff to show you, some stuff to talk about, lots to prep you for. So first off, I have some footage of Geo, so I'm going to input that here. Geo. So as you can see, Geo is a very messy eater. I have to clean up after him quite frequently, but he does come almost daily, and I was able to film him that one day. I think that was early last week. I filmed him a little bit, and also I have a new buddy of mine, and if you follow me on Instagram, I had a Insta story or whatever, my story or whatever they call it on Instagram, and I posted a picture of him and a poll to see what I should name him, and I got lots of suggestions, and I bet I'm not going to be able to see them now. Of course not. But there were some ties, Stuart and Zeke, and I think those were the ones that I got multiples of, and Jake, and I can't even remember them all. But lots of great suggestions. I'm still determining what his name is going to be, or she. She might be a she. I don't know. Actually, I think Geo is a she. But Geo is kind of one of those unisex names, but I just call him a he anyways. I don't know. So I have two squirrels. Geo does chase off the other squirrel, but I'm going to input a couple pictures of the new squirrel here. And while I'm talking, you can see that the new squirrel is kind of shy still. He won't actually come up to me. He does come close to me, but when I open the door to come out onto the balcony, he runs off over to the windowsill. And then, but he often will stay up on the porch longer than after all of his food is gone, where Geo will run away as soon as the food is gone. The new guy, which I'm pretty sure is much younger than Geo, he might be a new baby from this year, I don't know. He sticks around, and as you can see in the second picture, he was sleeping. He was falling asleep in that second picture. And so he will hang out on my chairs there and sleep. Those chairs are more for the squirrels than they are for me. They get more use out, the squirrels get more use out of those chairs than I do. Anyways, let's get to what we were here for, and that is my stitching. I have a finish. Yay, I have a finish. And let's just briefly mention, this is my very first ever tote bag. There's the tag there that you can, oh, there it is, ever tote. This is my very, very first ever tote bag. And I purchased this almost a year ago. I bought this at the very beginning of October. And this bag is the whole reason that Caroline and I are friends. So happy 1-year friend-iversary, Caroline. Okay, so my finish, and I'm calling it a mini finish only because it is part 1 of 3 of the 13th colony of By the Bay. So it's a mini finish because I'm doing the entire series in one panorama. And I have it out of the Q-snap. And I'm stitching this on 46 count Bergen linen in the color Rocky Mountain by XJU Designs. And here it is. There it is. There we go. And I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. I love the fact that there's 2 different sizes of sheep. I love the colors. And I love this fabric. 46 is my new, right now, my new favorite size fabric. I love stitching, as I say all the time. I love stitching 1 over 1 or 1 over 2 or 1 over 1. I am a 1 strand guy. I like stitching with 1 strand. And we'll get to why I like stitching with 1 strand here in a moment, because of my new start. Just folding this up nicely because I did actually even iron this. Even though if you look at it, it's kind of hard to tell that I ironed it. Oh, and there, yeah, see, you can kind of tell. But so that is my new, or my mini my mini finish. It's not fully finished. So that is my mini finish. And my new start is Lady of the Flag. Now, this is my very first Mirabilia. Probably one, and I say this, and of course, you know, things will always change. Probably the only one I will ever do, because ladies don't really interest me. I don't plan on having a whole bunch of ladies hanging on my wall. And I've said many times why I have an interest in this one, and it's mainly because it reminds me of the old-fashioned coins and the fact that it looks like Lady Liberty, and the Lady Liberty that's on coins. And of course, I love yellow. So, Lady of the Flag. I am stitching it in the Called For colors. We'll get there in a second, though. And here is my progress so far. I am stitching this on 32 count Dark Sand by XJU Designs. We all know I love her fabric. So this is XJU Designs Dark Sand. I absolutely love the way this is looking on this fabric. I have decided, unlike many people that are stitching this, and here's another thing. If you've ever caught on to the way I like to stitch, if there's a whole bunch of people stitching something, I have no interest in it, except for this piece. I don't know why, but for some reason, if there's a big bandwagon, I don't like to jump on. I like to go my own way. So, but I really wanted to stitch this. Of course, I have to do it my own way and get my own fabric, and you know. So this is the fabric that I showed a couple weeks ago that I had specially dyed for because I wanted it slightly darker than the piece that I had received. And so what I like about this fabric is the fact that it really shows off the colors well. And it kind of reminds me of an old coin, like an old dingy, dirty coin. Now, if you can also see, like right here in the white, it almost looks like it's a variegated color. And it's not white, it's like 713 or something like that. But that's not variegated. That's the same color. However, I think from whenever the thread kept coming pulling up through the fabric, it the dye slid got onto the thread there just slightly. And I know a lot of people would not like that. I love it. And the reason is because it gives it that little bit of a dingy, tarnished look, I think. And so I think it's just going to give it that perfect aged look, and I'm really liking it. So definitely going to be interesting to see how the beads play out because all of these holes right here are all beads. So I've never beaded before. But you know, I jump in full, you know, gung ho, and it will be what it will be, and I will do it. So, but yeah, really liking this so far, and happy that how it's turning out. However, it is 2/2 because it's 32, and as much as my stitches look nice because it is 2/2, I'm very I'm a perfectionist, and it's very hard to sit here and like if I have one stitch that's like, it's so much harder on 2/2 than it is like a 1/2 because 1/2 you don't have to contend with the threads fighting each other. And yes, I know I could take the time and use the laying tool. I don't do that. When you step back and look at it, you can't tell. But when your face is, you know, up here like this, it's in your face. But I'll manage. So there is my lady of the flag. Now, some purchases. Last week on Thursday, I went to my local needlework shop, the Nimble Needle, and I purchased all of the metallics that I needed for is it going to come? Yep, the Nimble Needle. It's in Merchantville, New Jersey. I have a card around here somewhere, but I didn't grab it today. Karen is wonderful. If you're ever looking for any kind of flosses and you're having a hard time finding it, give Karen a call. She's excellent. She always helps me out. You know, I tell her what I'm looking for and she pulls it out right away. You know, and I just like going in there and browsing. So I had to get the metallics, and Mirabilia's call for Krynics. I'm not a fan of Kreinik. I don't like how they stitch up. I prefer Petite Treasure Braid. So what I went ahead and did was, it only calls for 2 colors of Kreinik. It calls for a gold and it calls for a gray. So I got both of the Kreiniks just because. She didn't really have an equivalent in the Petite Treasure braid for the gray, so I just went ahead and got the gray. It's mainly only used, as far as I'm aware, it's only used for the flagpole, and I can handle that. It's stitched up decently. It still wasn't the greatest, but you know, I managed. However, for the gold, I did want to get the Petite Treasure braid because it is a fairly close um, comparison. So I went ahead and got Petite Treasure braid for the gold. And if any of you are stitching that and want to use Petite Treasure braid instead of Krynic, I purchased the PB03. PB03 is what I got. So that is what I purchased, as well as I also got a new kind of needle that I had not heard of before. However, I really like them. They're called the Hiroshima needles. These are number 25s. I would compare them to a 26. I've been using them on 32 count, and they stitch up perfectly fine, and they don't leave any major gaps in the fabric. They actually stitch up really nice. They have a gold eye, and I believe, as far as I understand, they're bored lengthwise, so they run through the fabric much smoother. So they are the Tulip. They're made in Japan. They're Tulip Hiroshima needles. They do come in different sizes. She did not have anything equivalent to a 28, so I went ahead and got the 25s, which are like a 26, and I really like them. The only thing I do think I still struggle with is the fact that the eye is not quite as wide as maybe a Bowen, so I have a bit of an issue getting, which I'm getting better at. I think it's just getting used to a new needle. It's a little bit more of a struggle to thread the needles. But, you know, you live and you learn. And so that's what I've been stitching with, and I really like them. Okay. Moving on. Don't forget, in a week, I think actually a week from today, we will be starting the Riolis. Well, we will be starting the Hedgehog style, and I will be starting the Riolis Hedgehogs, along with Buckeye Stitcher Nicole. And I was looking at this pattern. It actually looks like it's going to be a fairly quick stitch. I'm not in any hurry, but it does look like it's going to be a nice, fairly quick stitch. So I have mine all ready to go in my Made by Mama Joan bag. So that is ready to go, and all I have to do is put it on the Q-snap, and I'm ready to go. Okay, knitting. As you all know, I am currently working on my Alchemy pullover. I'm doing the 10 color sweater, so basically this. I am using Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the sport weight. My main color is chestnut. And the other night I went ahead and ordered all but one of the other colors. I had 4 of them. I had to order 5 more, but they didn't have enough colors to make up the colors that I needed. So once I get the colors in, I'm going to have to go find one more shade of like a yellowy brown color for the color work. And here is my sweater so far. I have about 15 inches done. I have to go to about 17¼ inches of the body before I can move on and work on the sleeves. So that is the sweater. So I have about 2 inches to go, and then I will be able to move on to the sleeves. So maybe I'll have the body done this week, and then I will get to start on the sleeves. I'm not in any huge hurry on the sweater. And of course, this week we are starting the socks for Teach Gerald How to Knit. So if you are interested in learning how to knit with me, we're going to be learning socks this week, or starting to learn how to knit socks. I will be using circular needles. I ordered mine yesterday, so I should be getting them in the mail tomorrow. I ordered mine from Amazon. I ordered the Chalgu needles, so hopefully they will be here tomorrow. I think they're supposed to be here tomorrow, and I will be ready to go. I already have my yarn ready, and actually, let me just grab that. The yarn I will be using is a ball of a hank of yarn, or a skein of yarn that I was gifted for my birthday from Caroline, from Adrienne from the Fiber Friends, her Old Oak yarns. And this was, I think, a special die that she did for me called New Knitters Are Like Sunshine. So it's in her hardwood base. And of course, it's yellow and gray. So this is going to be my socks, yellows and grays and white. And I also, from Knit Picks yesterday, I ordered a set of, or not a set of, I ordered a skein of a tonal gray, like a light gray, to go with this, so that I can do my toes, my toes and my heel in a solid, so that I have contrasting toes and heels. So I will, because I don't think one 100-gram cake of yarn is going to be enough for the size feet I have, because I have pretty weak feet. So in order for me to have enough yarn, I'm going to do my toes and socks in a different color. Okie dokie. Last but not least, it's been almost a month ago, and I apologize, but Tammy, I received a message from a viewer and possibly customer of mine, Tammy, who said, I have a men's knitting magazine, or I guess book, that it's vintage, and if you're interested, I will send it to you. So I was like, of course. So I want to personally thank Tammy, and she sent me the Columbia Minerva Hand Knits for Men complete collection of classics. And while yes, some of them are dated, I think a lot of these styles are actually coming back in fashion. And there's a whole bunch of styles in here that would be nice to knit up. So I'm looking forward to, once I get my first sweater done here, I'm looking forward to looking through this book and finding maybe one or two patterns to play around with. So that's a lot of fun. So thank you very much, Tammy. I really like the book, because it is hard to find books for specifically men. And of course, now we have Ravelry and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of nice. And, there's nothing wrong with vintage patterns, because they're kind of nice, and in a lot of ways, they're kind of back in style. So, and with maybe, they would be in style, with modern colors. So definitely an awesome gift. So thank you very much, Tammy. With that, that is everything I have for you today. Oh, no, it is not. My shop update. Shop update. Going forward through the end of September, September 30th, I have a coupon code available in store for any kind of printed pattern. If you buy 2 printed patterns, you can get free shipping if you use the coupon code buy 2 ship free. So you need to ensure that you use the coupon code at checkout, buy 2, ship free. Everything will be linked below. It's also listed on the main Etsy site page. So as long as you buy 2 patterns of the printed variety, not the PDF, but the printed, you can receive free shipping. So if you're interested in any of those patterns and you've been on the fence, but you know, this is a great way to consider looking at saving a few bucks by saving on the shipping. So go check that out. Also, I have part 2 ready to go for the Stories of the North Sow or Stories of the North series, and that will probably be coming out next week. So be on the lookout for that. And that's it. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you on my next episode. So don't forget to always be creative.